Bear with me. My plan is to kind of go through these one at a time, and you can sort of see how they work. List part number, description for all parts. So I actually have all of that stuff here in this. I've got all my commands written, so I'm just going to go through them rather than write them, which would take time, which I don't want to spend. So that first one is just that. Select part number, price from part. Part number, description from part. And you can see that if we put that away, it is very, very tricky working with how you call it with Zoom, because it sort of takes over your screen. I know you can't see it, but anyway, so if you do that, that shows you all the part number, description, price. That was everything from that was, what was that?
Sir?
All the parts. Yes. So that was kind of simple. It was just all the parts. Yes. Question.
Sir, so after we've connected the MySQL, do we write within that what we want and then we'll get it?
Yes, like
Like
I'm doing
select
now.
partner.
Can you
Yeah.
see? Like I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But first you have to load all those tables.
Okay. So
So
we do
there,
that in MySQL.
yes, MS
Okay.
SQL.
Thank you.
You could do it in MySQL if you were running MySQL. So this is all the orders. I hope these are fairly simple. So lab 2 is pretty simple. There's now what's special about this command? I'm just have a look at it. Um, the next one there was number 3, list the names of the customers with credit limits. So that all comes out of the customer table, and it's got a where clause in it, which is kind of cool. So that's all that is. So that's number 3 of lab 2. Customer name from the customer where, so there's our where clause. And it doesn't actually give, to make that better, what we should do is we should put the credit limit there. So we should show both the credit limit and the thing, and we see that it is in fact correct. And question 4 is list the order number for each order placed by a customer 608. So here's, when we do this, we know that that is going to be a condition. So where customer number is 208, and so there's two conditions, and date, and we have to get the date in the right format. So that's this one here. Select order number where the customer number is that, and so we can see the and there. I hope you can see the and there. Um, so these ones we've done it as a single line, but probably easier to read if you put them like that. Select from where. That's how I like to do it. It's kind of easier to see what's going on. We can see the date format is in the format that that this particular database has. That might not be the same for other database, but that's the date format that we're using, and that just gives those order numbers. Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to be a little bit more complete with this, again, we could show the customer number and we could show the date.
Sir,
Yes.
is it important to snip the select part as well?
The which part? Select is
The,
absolutely essential. Yeah. Yeah. It won't work
uh,
without the select.
no, I mean, if we have to snip it, or just table is enough.
Please do this select statement as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're going to snip it, please snip like so. Yeah, I would ask you to snip all of this, huh? Like that. Okay.
No, I did it already, but from select itself, not from the all the way up. And some are just tables.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the stuff above select, but yeah, so that was just a bit rough. Yeah, so like this. Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Mm,
fine.
okay.
That's fine. Okay, so what's our next one? 5, list the number and the name of each customer represented by sales rep 35, and this one here, we're using the where statement with an or. So this will give all of the, yeah, we'll be able to see only if they're from those two sales reps. So that's number 5 here. Now, again, I don't really like this answer, so I'm going to fix it to be a bit more correct in the way that I like it, which would be that let's also include the rep number here so that we can prove that the thing has worked. Okay, so that should, okay, now rep number, when I do that, I will have to say what table it's from. Now the reason for that is, no, that's all right. It's all from the one table. Let's run it. Okay, so we can see that in fact, we only got the customers that the rep numbers were either 35 or 65. So that's a bit of validation. I like that. I mean, you don't have to do it, but I do like it. So number, let's get, so number 6, list the part number and the part description for each part that is not an item, not in item class AP. So not. So where item class is not AP or where item class is not in AP. That's kind of cool. So that's, let's see if this answer is right. So bear with me. Again, I don't like to present it like that. It's hard to read. Let's make it so it's easy to read. So where the class is not that. Yeah, okay. That one should work fine. And yeah, so all of the, actually, it would be a lot better. Again, we can prove it if we actually include the class in the things that we're selecting. So we can see that it doesn't have the class AP. So as I said, that's just sort of a verification of what we've got. I like to do it that way. Number 7, list the part number, description, number of units. All of that is coming from the part table that has between, okay, so between 10 and 25 units on hand, including both. So do this 2 ways. Yeah, there are 2 ways to do it. Let's look at the first way there. Um, right. So we're selecting all those things between, using between. The other one is less than equal to, right? So this one, we've got all the values from 10 to 25, 12, 12, 21. And the other way, oh, this is an interesting one. In. So there's probably another way as well. All right. I'd say it looks like there's 3 ways to do this. Yeah. Okay. We could say where on hand in that would work. Can anybody think of another way of doing this? I think another way of doing this would be to say where on hand. So there's 2 ways. The third way would be where on hand is bigger than equal to 10, was it? And on hand, this is just like writing your Python code, right? Less than or equal to 25. That should work also. Gives you the same result. So there's 3 ways of doing that. It asks you to do 2. We actually were able to come up with 3. So that's kind of cool. All right. So that was question 7. 8, list the part number, part description, on-hand value. So the on-hand value, we do this by calculation. We take the units on hand multiplied by the price, and then we change it using a alias to have change the column name. And okay, but only for the class SG. So only for the class SG. Let's see that. All right, so there's our alias. We're using as. So here's our calculation. The value from the on hand and the value of the price multiplied by each other are going to make the, okay, so this should be on hand value. That's kind of strange. From part, but is the value correct? I think I need to check that. class SG. So what I might do is let's do the class there, and let's do the on hand, and let's do the price. So we're going to check all of those things to see if this is actually working. I think it is. Okay, so on hand value. So now it's working. I don't know what was going on there before. All right, so 45 times 74, yeah, 3,000. Yeah, okay, so it was kind of dodgy before, but I've sort of forced it to work here. We can tell those are working. Yes, it's only those ones with the class of SG, the on-hand value, and the price. We multiply the price by the on-hand value to get our, yes, the on-hand times the price to get our on-hand value. So that's working. Yeah, we had to sort of change a little bit from what I had there before. All right, that was question 8. 9, list the part number, part description, and on-hand value. So it's the same problem as before, but we want the value to be more than 7,500, okay, whose on-hand value is at least 7,500. Okay, so that's an and condition, right? And on hand is bigger than, well, actually, we could say on hand value, right? We have got that on hand value is bigger than or equal to 7,500. See if that works. Didn't work. Didn't like it because of, all right, so what we have to do is, it doesn't like that, no problem. On hand times value, right? On hand times price. Didn't like that. I was wondering if that might not work. All right, that should work. So only the ones that are bigger than 7,500. I think that's what it wants. So yeah. All right, so that's that one. That was number 8. List the, yeah, so number 9, how they've done it, on-hand value. Well, they did on-hand value, but it didn't actually work for me, so I had to change it. That's all right. That's 8 number. So that might just be something to do with this particular server. And so, I mean, you know, the code there was the code there. You can see when I tried to do it the way that they have there, it didn't work. So I went back and just used without the alias. So this alias here is a little bit dodgy. It sort of works sometimes and not every time. That's kind of cool. Watch out for that. All right, so let's look at, it might just be my typing too. I haven't really looked at that too closely. 10, use the in operator. So with an in, we have to have a list. We did that already with this number 7, I think. When we did it 2 ways, we actually did it 3 ways. And one of the ways we used the in operator to list the part number and part description of each part in item class AG or SG. And yeah, that one, that's number 10. And there's our list. That one's quite nicely done here. I don't need to change that at all, I don't think. So I'm just going to leave that one with you. You'll see it works quite nicely. So only, well, it would be, you could verify it if we included the class in the select. So let me run it with the class in the select so you can see it's only the SGs and the APs are shown. So that one works nicely. The next one there is find the number 11, find the number and the name of each customer whose name begins with the letter B. So this is using the like percent. And that's what we've got here. That's quite nice. That's quite simple. So I won't spend too much time on that one either. The wild card there, like, starts with a B. The percent afterwards means after the B can be anything. And we see that all of these start with a B. So that worked quite nicely. The next one there is number 12. List all the details about all parts. This is just a select star from part, and then you got to order by. And that's what we've got here. select star from part, order by. Now, again, I don't like, I like to have 3 lines. It just makes it easier to read. You can see, okay, what columns we're going to get, all the columns, what table, the part table, or how we're going to order it. And so they are ordered by description there. So cordless drill first, washer last. You'll see they're in alphabetical order there. That was number 12. Number 13, list all the details of all the parts. Okay, so select star from parts, order by part number within the warehouse. Part number within warehouse. Okay, that is ordered by the warehouse and then the part number. So actually it's kind of like this, except it's going to be by warehouse. It's almost the same command, right? Warehouse and then by part number. I think that's what it wants. And so if you look at the warehouse, all the ones are together, all the twos are together, all the threes are together. Then within each warehouse, let's take the one that's got the most. The warehouse 3 has the most items, and these are in order of part number. They're not in order by class. We see that order is all messed up, but they're in order by part number. So within the warehouse 3, AT comes before DL, comes before DW, etc. So that one is it's shown here also, but that's how we do that. We sorted by warehouse, then within the warehouse we sorted by part number. Okay, and sorry, I hope this isn't too boring for you. I just wanted to go through these, make sure everybody understood it, and I could explain it as we went. Tell me if it's too boring, we can stop. But I think it's okay to go through it. How many customers have balances that are more than their credit limits? So select all the customers. Oh, this is a count. This is a count. Select count where. Yeah, all right. So let's see that. This is question 14. 14. Select the count from customer where the balance is bigger than. Very nice. All right, so that's why we did that. We're getting a count of all the fields. We don't care about the field. Select count of everything when the credit limit is less than the balance. When the balance is more than the credit limit. So it only gives us a number. So that means that there's 2 customers that have a credit limit bigger than their. So we can't actually get anything else from that because it's just returning the number. That's nice. Then the next one is 16. What is the price of the least expensive part in the database? So where price is min price. So we're going to select the value that are we using a sub? Yeah, okay, let's see. That's this one here. Select that's not right. That's this one here. Did I miss 6? I missed that one, right? Yeah, here it is. Select the minimum price from part. Okay. So what does it say? What is the price of the, yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, what is the least expensive part? What is the price of the least expensive part? Now, this isn't very informative. If you wanted to actually select the price, the value, you'd have to do a sub select. But you don't need to do that in this course, so I'm not going. We would have another select, and where the price was equal to the. Well, do you want to do that? A sub select? You don't need to do that in this course, but you could do something like this: select star from part where price in or equal to, and that should work. So this is a sub select, but you don't need to do it. And so this gives you the value, the item which has the smallest byte. You don't need to do that. We don't do sub select. You'll notice that it's a select statement inside a select statement. We use the select statement on the inside to get the minimum price, and then we found all the details of the item that had that price. Again, you don't need to do that. That's kind of cool, though.
How about just the description and the price?
Yeah, well, we could do that.
I do.
You like that? So if you like it better that way. So this is, as I said, this is a sub-select. Yeah, it's just, and that just gives us the item and its price. So that's the smallest price apparently, $24.95. And anyways, uh, you don't have to do that, but maybe you're really interested in SQL, and so you're wondering, well, how could we do this thing? It's called a sub-select statement, a select statement inside a select statement. As I said, you don't need to do that. All right, so the next one there is the last one in this one. List the part number of any part with an unknown description. So the description is null, and that's what we got here. Description of null. Do we have one that doesn't have a description? And probably we don't. Probably they all have a description, right? I don't know. Yeah, they all have a description. So it ended up with nothing. All right, so then the next one there, what we want to do is we want to look at lab 3. Lab 3 is the last thing that we've been given.
Sir,
Yes, go
sir,
ahead.
for the last question, isn't it like we need to update the table and then make it null and then select null? It's gonna give you the result. That's way that way.
If there was a null value, but this one doesn't have a
No,
null
but you
value.
have to update it, right?
No, doesn't say that.
Because I don't know, like
This
there's
was just
some
a select
null.
statement. No, I didn't ask you to update it, I don't think. Let me have a look at the question. List the part number of any part with an unknown part description. An unknown description, no. All of this is doing is it's a list. So list is a select. If you were going to update, you'd have to use the update command. Yeah, we could do that. You want to do that?
I did that. That's why I was like,
Okay, well, we could do this. We've got that thing there. We could write a new thing. We could say update whatever the table is part set set and whatever you want to do to it. What would it be? Description, was it?
yeah, set description.
Description to null. Can we say equal null?
It's the same thing. Equal null.
To null?
Equal null.
Yep, equal null. Where part number or something like that. Do you got a part number? Equal AT94. I think I remember that one.
Yes, sir.
And all right, so now we can go and do our see if that one was going to come. AT94. Okay, so yeah. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could do that. So we saw that, right? We set it, and now we've got the value, the one that doesn't have a description. So we zap that description. That's okay. Let's look at lab 3 now quickly. For each order, list the order number and the order date along with the number. So the thing about lab 3 is that we're joining tables. And so the first one here, and we're kind of running out of time, so I'm going to try and do this kind of quickly. But there's not very many. That's the good thing, right? So we got 2 tables, so we had to join them on a common field. The common field was a customer number. And what that does is it gets data from the customer table, the customer name, and the rest of the data is from the order table. That was kind of cool. All right, and then so the next one.
Sir, when I do this, it gives me that there is no column named customer num.
Well, you have to go and look at your table and see what's in your table. Maybe you named it, your spelling is different. Okay, so just check your spelling on that. That's all I could suggest. So if you look at your table, your command has to work with your table. So if you spelled it even a little bit differently, it won't work. I think that's probably what's happened for you. Okay, for each order placed on this certain date, list the order number along with the number and the name of the customer that placed the order. So again, this is 2 tables because you need the customer name and you need the order. So it's basically the same as the first question there, but we've added another to the where command, we've added an and, right? So it's the same. It's just we've said, well, it must be on this date. And so we've only got these that are on that date. Probably should put the date on there. Yeah, all right. So that's all that was. That was kind of straightforward. For each order, list the order number, order date. Again, all from the order table. Part number, that's coming from the order line. Number of units, that's an order line. Quoted price, that's order line. Okay, so there's order line and order. And so if we look at the way we've written our answer here, you can see that that's the order line and the order had to be joined. So all of this seems to be joining tables, right? So we needed to get the order number we're using that from the two tables. Order line has the details of the actual thing that's been ordered in the order, and the order has the order date and the order number. That comes from the order table. The rest of the stuff comes from the order line table. If we wanted to say what the part description was, we would have to join the part table to it as well. And that's it. And that's
Sir,
in one of these questions. Yes,
sir, for the date, there's like 000 and Z. I don't put that. It's just the date itself.
that's
Till
fine.
20.
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, it's better actually. All right, so yeah, we are running out of time. For each order, list the order number, order date, part number, number of units order, and the quoted price for each. Isn't that the same? What's the difference that makes up the order? That's so sorry, I'm kind of quoted price. Anyways, it looks kind of similar, but that's question 3. Let's have a look. Question 3 looks kind of similar. I don't know. Yeah, quoted price. Let's look at the next one there, lab 3. For each order, list the order number, order date, part number, part description. So this one, item class, blah, 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 that makes up. So number 4, we actually have to join 3 tables together. And so that's all that is. We're getting these data from 3 different tables. And so we had to do 2 joins, a where and an and, or just joins. So we're joining the order table to the order line table, and we're joining the part table to the order line table, because the order line table kind of holds them together. And there's that null that we added. You wanted us to put the null in, we put it in. Okay, using an update. Anyway, so that was kind of fun. That might show up as a question, right? You never know. Wrong questions. And repeat exercise. This time, order the rows by item class. So that's the same thing. All we've done is we've added a line at the end, which is going to order them by class. And so if you see here, they're all messed up. When we put the new line in, which is just going to be order by class, then what will happen is that AP will come first and SG will be last. So AP, yeah, SG last. Question 6 is find the rep number, last name, first name of each sales rep. So that's from the rep table, who represents at least one customer. So we're going to do a count, and the count is bigger. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's a tricky one. Let's have a look at how we solved that. And where the customer credit limit is equal to 1,000. So they have to have a credit limit of 1,000. So we're getting the sales rep when the credit limit's 1,000 for the customer. Interesting. That's that one. I'm sorry I'm going through this kind of fast because I noticed that we're kind of running out of time. So what we probably should do here to verify that this is working is we should include the credit limit in our select so we can see that they are in fact the ones that had a credit limit of 1,000. And last but not least, I think question 7, what is that? List the order number, order date. Okay, so that's going to be from the order, and customer number is going to be from the customer, but it's a particular customer, and this is just, yeah, all right. So we have an and there where we get the the name, but notice that we put two apostrophes in there. One is for the apostrophe and one is because we're using that as quotes. And I'm sorry for rushing through that, but I wanted to get through. And so there we go. That one is going to give us every order for Johnson. All right, so any questions on that? Summarizing all of this, what we saw in lab 3 was joining tables. Joining tables, in every case we joined the tables. We didn't use a join command, which we could have, but what we did is we used in the where clause, we set the primary key of one table to the foreign key in another table, which had to have the same value. So that's how we use the tables. That's what makes a relational database, is the ability to join tables together. It's all related. We call those relations. A relationship is where one table is related to another table because they have a common key. And that's what really gives the power to SQL. So we really just got started in SQL in this course because we didn't have much time. But in lab 3, that's where we saw it happening, where we're able to sort of have many tables. All those tables can be joined together because of the relationships between the tables.